Rice, and the death penalty hits us with a moral question. Can the people who commit these monstrous crimes be sentenced to death? And what crimes constitute the death penalty? For centuries, death was the result of many crimes, and the process for convicting these criminals was much simpler, but is way less accurate than it is today. I'm sure all of us have an idea of what the death penalty is, but do you guys really know the details behind it? So today I'm going to be talking about the history of the death penalty, the methods that we still use today in America, and the arguments for and against the death penalty. So first, a brief history of it. The earliest recordings of the death penalty was back in 18th century BC, where ancient rulers would use crucifixion, beating to death, burning to death, impalement, and drowning, all as ways to punish their criminals. Jumping ahead to early America, people would use hangings and the less common firing squad throughout the 1700s to punish their criminals. A statistic illustrated by Yale opposing viewpoints in context in 2015 showed that in the late 90s to current day, the percentage in favor of the death penalty went from 74% down to 56%. So if you actually look at the stat online, you would see in 1999 it was 74% for and 36% against, and as time moved on, it got closer and closer to 50, so in 2015 it was 56% for, 44% against. So moving on to methods used today. The most common is lethal injection, and according to an article written in 2018 by Christina Lyons, the 31 states who still use the death penalty prefer lethal injection. A brief explanation of what lethal injection really is: there's 3 drugs, each with a scientific name that I'm not going to try to pronounce. And the first one knocks you unconscious, so right off the bat you're already unconscious. The second one causes muscle paralysis, so you can't move, and it also stops your breathing, so you're not dead yet, but close. And then the third one, it just stops your heart, so you're a goner. The second method is firing squad. This is backup for lethal injection if for some reason the companies that provide the lethal injection don't want to give it, or if the person getting executed requests firing squad. And you can only find it in Utah, Mississippi, and Oklahoma. The last method I'm going to go over is electrocution. This one was way more popular back in the day. And an explanation of this is you're bolted down in this electric chair, and for 30 seconds they will zap you, and the doctors will come out after that 30 seconds and check if you're still alive. And if you still are, they're going to keep doing that over and over again until you are dead. And the process usually lasts between 2 minutes and 15 minutes. So now moving on to arguments for and against the death penalty. The main one is that it's cruel and unusual. According to an article published by The Economist, some failed lethal injection attempts were described as being cruel and unusual. And if you really think about it, it's like they're going into their execution thinking it's an execution. And if they wake up with psychological or physical damage to them, it just takes a toll on their mind that is just rough for anyone to think about. On the other hand, the argument for this is if they're prepared to kill someone or murder someone's family, then they should be prepared to pay the price. Another argument would be innocence, or convicting an innocent person for these crimes. A quote by Dr. Ernie Chambers from an article that I read states, "When you have this many people conclusively proved by DNA evidence to be actually innocent, there is no escaping the conclusion that innocent people have been executed." The argument for this one is that there are several appeal processes that they have to go through, each with 2 attorneys and 12 jury members that unanimously have to decide that death penalty is the way. The final argument would be cost of life in prison versus cost of execution, and both of them cost a lot of money. It all boils down to really how old the criminal is. If they're older, this is sad, but life in prison would probably be a lot cheaper than going through all the appeal processes and executing them. But if they're a younger adolescent or just a younger adult, then it might be cheaper to go through all the appeals and get them executed. It just depends on the determining factors. So overall, I hope that you've all gained a better understanding of the history, the methods, the history of the death penalty, the methods that we still use today, and the arguments surrounding this controversial topic. It's because of this uncertainty about this literal life or death situation, but now it's up to us to decide if it's morally right or wrong.